It's our local CPA, Robin LeBlanc. Robin, thanks so much for joining us virtually today.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
All right, so last week we were talking about nonprofits, and we're continuing that conversation because there's a deadline and it's fast approaching.
Yes, so next Monday is the deadline for nonprofits to file 990s. Now, depending on how much you received as a nonprofit is really going to depend on which 990 you're filing. So a lot of these newer nonprofits, you're eligible to file what's called a 990N or an e-postcard. And this is if you're in your first year and you've made less than 50,000, or even if you've been a nonprofit for 3 years, as long as you're averaging $50,000 or less in gross receipts, you're able to file this e-postcard. And this return is 100% online. You can actually file it yourself in about 15 minutes. Believe it or not, you don't actually have to get a CPA to file this tiny form for your nonprofit. Now, once you start growing and you're getting more gross receipts, you will have to file a 990 EZ or a full 990. And these forms are way more complicated and have a whole lot more information. And it's really important that you're filling these forms out, and they're called information returns because they actually kind of have short essay questions and a whole bunch of check boxes on it to complete. And 990s are actually public records. So if you go out and you're like, we just had South Louisiana Giving Day last week, and if you were considering donating to a nonprofit, you can actually go pull their tax returns or their 990s and see where all those dollars are going to. So as a nonprofit, it's super important to fill out these forms in detail so that your donors can see where the money is going. And another thing to know, if your nonprofit actually doesn't have a December year end, then the filing deadline would be on the 15th day of the 5th month. So make sure you're checking your original EIN letters to see what your actual year end is and what your filing deadline is. And as always, if you're just not ready, you can still file an extension. That form is the 8868. You can get it on the IRS's website or contact your tax preparer and tell them that you need a little more time to get that filing out. And as always, be compliant and be informed.
I love that. A lot of great info right there. Robin, how can people reach you if they have any more questions?
Give us a call at 337-330-4000 or shoot us an email at info@robinleblanccpa.com.
Awesome. Robin, thank you so much for joining us virtually today.
Thank you.